Hey Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
During the spookiest time of the year, there are a few guidelines all ghosts and goblins should follow. Always stay on sidewalks. Never go to a stranger's house. And never go out alone.
Okay, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, come on. I love Halloween.
Yeah, you look like you love Halloween, Laura.
I love it.
So, you know what? Halloween is like Christmas for me. I actually get to leave work early, tell everybody off, and I'm good to go.
And if they question it, it's all part of the costume.
Right? This is what you turned me into today.
What were we going to say before we rudely cut you away, Mike?
Oh, I was going to say I love it a lot more next year when I'm not so freaking busy with the production or something like that. Because I think I'd have a blast. There's guys around here that get dressed up in their coveralls and lie in the grass and grab the kids' legs and stuff like that. And I think that's awesome and really cool.
You could have one of the most unique houses on the block. Just bring home all your props.
Oh,
And
yeah.
put them out on the lawn.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to take any of my kids trick-or-treating this year. They all have, like, other people to go trick-or-treating with.
Nice.
So I'm going to do that. The coveralls and my front yard, I am doing that this year.
So
Yes.
you'll probably hate me for this because of the upteenth millionth joke, but you should dress up as a garden gnome.
As a garden gnome, eh? Wow, a garden gnome, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait,
That is a wholly
Okay,
original.
but you've seen Romeo and Juliet, right? Like, you
Yeah,
come up with
yeah.
a pitchfork.
What about the Hulk Hogan lawnmower one?
As long as it's not the Speedo.
See, I can do the Speedo one. I guess we gotta get the little hat and the.
Yeah, I'll be sick that day.
Corey, this was your idea.
We could all get together one year and you could be Puck from Alpha Flight.
See, I'm down for Puck. I could shave the head. I could get the grizzly thing. You would have to be Sasquatch, right?
I would hope so.
Which is unfortunate. Corey, you're probably going to be the gay guy, and you get to be Songbird or
Who's that?
Songbird or
Oh,
Snowbird.
North Star?
North Star?
North Star's the gay guy.
Yeah.
Then
Wait,
there's-
I'm he's the gay guy.
He's the gay guy.
well, North Star had a sister, right? Which is...
But that was Songbird or Snowbird. It was something
Snowbird.
bird,
Yeah.
right? It was
And
something
then we
bird.
had the indigenous... the
But that's
shaman.
culturally insensitive, so we can't have one of those guys.
Isn't Captain Canuck the main guy?
No, just forget about him.
Oh, okay, he's trying to push buttons on that. The Vindicator.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie?
Hey, it's Trick or Treat song.
Hey, Corey, this is one of your favorites, right?
This is a quintessential Halloween movie for anybody. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a neat concept. It's a collection of short stories that all intercept on the same day in the same town. And if you watch it, we were talking about this from the beginning. They overlap the stories, not within the story, but you see the other stories happening in the background while you're watching the main story. So you watch it a second time, and you're like, oh my god, there's that in the background now, and it's a whole new movie every time.
I used the Four Rooms reference earlier, which, a lot of the younger people might not get that, but that's that's what it reminded me of. Like, Four Rooms is a movie with Tim Roth, right? Tim Roth. Yeah, and he's going to these four different hotel rooms, and they all kind of intersect. That is a concept that I know you have thought about, Mike, because that movie has four directors all intersecting. That's the one right there, yeah.
Yeah, I seen that one a long time ago, and I did love it. I can't tell you what it's about, but I remember I really enjoyed it.
Full Rooms on New Year's Eve. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino directed his room.
That's
and
all
had
you
Bruce
need to
Willis
know
in it.
right there.
That was the best. Well, that and Robert Rodriguez's room, the kids.
I almost feel like that was kind of like where Spy Kids kind of spiraled out of that one.
Antonio Banderas was in it, and everything.
Yeah,
was the dad,
and
so.
the kids were there, so
Yeah.
I'm just like, you could see the seeds were getting planted for Spy Kids at that time. Take that for what you will, whether or not that was a good thing or not, but
Those are tough to do, films like that. And then they don't all work.
You could argue that he hasn't made one that works yet.
See, I don't know how particularly fond of I am of that in this particular film, because it was like when I was watching it before, I was kind of side-eye watching it, and it was just like it was jarring they went from one to the next and back, and maybe if I was paying attention, it would all be this kind of flowing together type thing.
Mm-hmm. You have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, like the opening scene alone, you see all 4 stories intersect in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's cool. But you don't notice that the first time you watch it because you're like, they're just people in the background. But no, they're the characters from the other stories.
Well, this first story right now, like it's
The principal.
The principal. We don't care if we spoil. Say this movie's like 15 years old, right?
This movie's old enough
So
to
7.
spoil.
2007 or 9.
Yeah, so 16 years old.
Yeah.
16 years old. It's okay. So the first story is this principal who.
I love the twist in this one.
Oh yeah, I love the twist in this
I
one.
want to carve the eyes.
This principal is probably, I'm not saying in Camrose, but somewhere, is probably fulfilling so many teachers and principals' lifelong wish.
Yes.
Do you recognize him, by the way?
Well, the principal,
Yeah.
or I know him.
He
I
played
know
Dr.
him.
Connors in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
In Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
He's done a lot.
Well, he's done a lot, but
Yeah.
I feel that's what you would know, so.
Yes, I totally see that now that you mention it. I love how he just takes a little sucker and just like this kid is
Casually
puking
eats
his
it.
guts out.
So I just find it, like, this is where some of my nitpicks start. It's like you're sitting on the front step of the street,
But
and all this is
nobody-
going on.
But they already stated nobody's there. They're all down at the parade.
Oh, I missed that.
You missed the exposition while you were side watching, right?
Well, and listening to you guys
Yeah.
right now. But yeah, no, okay, yeah. And that's, that can be a thing for me.
And oh, look, it's the kids from the other story.
Yeah, I thought that was them the first time watching this, and then
They don't appear to be at the parade.
Well,
Okay,
most
but
of them are at
it's
the parade.
Halloween. Most of them think it's just like a trick or whatever.
Well, I know, no, and I love how they pass it by on this, but it's like there's other people in the background walking by, and it's just like
Kids don't want to go to the principal's
nobody
house.
apparently saw this kid picking up 40 liters of blood and
Well,
him
he-
hauling
he-
him in.
He just ate too much candy and he's passed out. Okay, like that was.
Okay.
I honestly,
I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but you're gonna get this out of me today. and don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it. From what I got, there's some good stuff that I really did like. Like I said, the twist in this one.
Well, it's clever writing, and that's what made this show is the writing. So, and Sam.
Sam.
oh yeah.
My favorite.
So when going into this movie, because I'd never seen it before either, I thought the movie was about Sam. That's what I thought. I thought, it's going to want to be one of those
He is-
typical slashers, and it's going to be this character,
No,
Sam, going about killing
He
people on
is
Halloween.
the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah.
That's his whole premises.
It was designed, and I just seen this today, that Michael Dougherty, with Santa Claus for Christmas, the Easter Bunny, his whole concept to sell this to the company, in the story I seen on YouTube, was about creating a character that Halloween could attribute to, like Santa Claus, like the Easter Bunny, and that's what Sam was defined or created for. And he had to make that short movie and certain things to sell it to him. But that was his concept, his hope.
I'm kind of surprised that it didn't take off. Like, I know probably Laura and Corey, to you, was like, oh, of course this movie
I
took
bought
off.
this the day it came out.
But
Me too.
this has not endeared itself into popular culture.
Enough.
Quite
It's
honestly,
a cult classic.
even for horror movie lovers, this one isn't top rate.
Well, like, I never noticed a body in there before. Did you?
Really, the clown that reaches up in it and he has to stab with the shovel?
No, my issue is that it's a perfectly rectangle. It's like the guy took time to actually dig a perfect rectangle.
Okay, who here has dug graves before? Wow, that was like 3 more people than I expected. I've done perfectly rectangle graves before. What were you guys burying? Because I've buried humans.
I've never dared.
Okay, I'm just ready for Halloween decorations.
I have feel I better not answer this question.
I have
Corey, there's
dug
swamps
hot
in
line
Canada.
holes on
We
the
don't need to
pipeline.
bury them.
Oh well, yeah.
So it's grave size.
But we don't need
Yeah.
to bury humans. There's more than enough swamps.
Yeah, right. Cameron is totally swamp, especially West End is totally swamp.
Anyway,
No, that's dump in a mirror
So-
lake.
that's just a nitpick anyway.
I could dig a hole like that.
Oh, we could, but it's about time and requirement of
Maybe
you know.
we had a backhoe.
I mean, a psychopathic murderer tends to be OCD and all these other things. So I guess.
I bet you there's a mini hole somewhere in the backyard.
Yeah. Okay.
I can almost guarantee it.
And nobody wonders what's wrong with the dog next door.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right there when the
I-
note comes out. And, oh look, it's the last story.
I love.
And what famous movie is he from?
What famous week isn't he from?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going right to X-Men.
Yeah.
Pixels?
Striker. No, Pixels.
You know who? Brian Cox. I think of Super Troopers. That's the first thing I think.
Oh,
Next person who says shenanigans is gonna get pissed away. Hey, Barb, what's that place with all the cool shit in the wall? What, shenanigans? You mean
yeah.
Oh, that's one of my.
Yeah, he was
all-time
in
favorites.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
He's an amazing. Like this movie almost seems beneath him, but you can tell he had a fun time. So
I don't know
So I
if there
can't
is
tell you
such
his
thing
name.
as a beneath him movie. Like,
again, he did do Pixels. So
when Super Troopers came out, that was like a really low bar, low budget
low
movie.
brow, low.
Was not expected to have the.
it did better than Pixels.
Well, I bet you if you look at the box office, Pixels did better, but I think Super Troopers gets like no one expected the cultural impact Super Troopers is going to
Okay, well, if you're looking at box office, yes. However, working in a video store, I can honestly say Super Troopers did better.
Wow, yeah.
Well, also, are you going to count the before all streaming took over, videos and movies were designed. They knew that they could make a ton of money on the back end off of
Yeah.
videotapes. So are we quantifying that part into that?
You can.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Troopers still
Because there's
better.
movies that were designed for the videos and they did well because they sold a lot of cassettes.
Yeah, I think Super Troopers probably definitely outsold Pixels, but I think you'd be surprised how many. I know a lot of people that own Pixels for whatever reason.
Because it's got Adam Sandler.
Yeah, you own
Yeah.
Pixels, don't you? I own Pixels too. Do you own Super Troopers?
No.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, I'm very picky with my stoner comedy style movies. Like, I love my Kevin Smith, and I love the movie Grandma's
So you
Boy.
probably own This Is the End.
I watched it. I'm like, all right, this was fun. I'm never gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I didn't like This Is the End.
It was.
Oh, come
It was
on.
So I found. Okay, I want to talk about this scene here. I found this very interesting. And we know in film with the misdirection and the misleading stuff and whatever, he just talked. Right now, he's just talking about whining for his kid. Oh, I hate this, or I miss mommy. I miss. To lead us down the path that he's like disgruntled.
And that he's going to take out his kid.
Well, I know, and it's just like that misdirection in film. And I'm just sitting here thinking,
I
what
almost
was.
don't want to spoil this because this is a great. Out of all the movie, this is the best twist of them all.
It is, other than that one line, which was a little bit like, does he love his son?
He clearly loves his son.
He's
But
He's annoyed by him, but he loves him.
Who doesn't get annoyed by their kids? And like you want to finish up an
Have
act.
you met my kid?
You're
That's
trying
true.
to finish up an activity, and here your kid is
You're
shouting.
trying to murder somebody, and your kid gets in the way.
Yeah.
Goddamn little brat.
And so, like the misdirection, when you think about it, It's just him being a good dad, in my opinion.
You know what? Actually, the more and more I thought about it, and I've been on the fence on that particular line because it's been kind of sitting on me, and I think I'm going to agree with you. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I analyze that moment. That is an absolutely fair thing to do.
Well, even,
which means I like the scene a little bit more now.
Yeah.
like Jeff was saying, like even if you're watching, actually paying attention to how they're going down the stairs, it is definitely apparent with affection because the dad's steps going down matches each and every one of the kids' steps.
Mm-hmm.
And a parent who's not affectionate, what did he care?
This is the prequel.
This is what we can't spoil. This scene right now, right? So
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike. I just wanted to warn.
I was going to say without saying what's going on here, but I guess you better not say it at all. I guess
The scene with the thing and that stuff is really intense.
It did not. It did not go the way I thought it was going. Right? Is that what you were going to say?
Totally, yeah.
You're going to say, "Oh my god!"
This is the twist.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think he was going to plunge that into that. Yeah.
Wow, this is
That's
getting
what she
really
said.
hard. This is getting
Also what she said.
Oh, we got it. That's what she said already.
What was that movie? Or not movie, a TV show. I love Dexter.
I love Dexter.
I love Dexter. This is what
Totally.
I totally should have been.
Dexter and Harrison thing. You know?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Jeff, this scene is where I say it's got a very 90s vibe to it.
Oh, with the
The teachers at their Halloween party.
The hot dog and the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Ware dressed as a hot dog, butt fucking.
And you know, in the 90s it was very common to get booze from houses.
I handed out beer one year. I would hand it out beer for the parents, chocolate bars for the kids. So
I
I
was trying to convince my kids because we have leftover shots that we should be able to give them out tomorrow, and I was told no.
Not legally.
I wasn't going to give them to the kids.
Exactly.
Maybe the empties.
It ended up, I guess for the record, it says someone who's handed out beer at Halloween before, ends bad. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. It does not end as good as you think
but
it will
a can
end.
of beer versus a shot.
I feel like shots would be worse.
One shot, not to the kids.
Depends on the kid.
Well, I had Jägermeister from my buddy German. He's a German. German dude. He gave Jägermeister to the parents as they came by. He poured the shot.
Nice.
I like the houses that give out coffee to the parents. Now if they gave Bailey's with the coffee.
I mean, as a diabetic, I still appreciate getting given candy as a parent.
So I didn't think there was going to be much story with. We're on to the second story, FYI, guys out there in Radioland.
Yeah.
I did not see where this second story was going to go. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was not
Well, what's
thinking.
great is how much this story
Actually
ties
ties in.
everything in together almost.
Yeah, well, at least the last one for sure,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and it ties in the first one too.
And it ties into the third one.
How does it tie into the third one?
Because they actually hear them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
I'd be shocked if they didn't tie. Who's that? I missed her relevance to this.
Rhonda?
Yeah. Is she relevant?
she's very relevant.
She's telling the story to
Yep.
them of what Halloween is, and yeah,
They traumatize her.
they
and-
traumatize her and she gets to get revenge.
So besides them knocking on the door in the first one, how else does their story tie into that one?
Remember where they go with the pumpkins
Yeah.
and what's at the bottom of where they go?
Oh, I never thought about that because he's a principal.
No,
This thing's
No,
all about
but
the
it's not
teachers.
principal.
Not
It's
the
about
principal.
The guy next door.
Oh, well,
Brian Cox.
okay, yes, because he's next door. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That,
And speaking
yeah.
it's principal. Anyway,
Man, what are the chances of bus driver and a principal be living next to one another, right?
yeah.
This also like this is where you think this story's going, right? Like,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
There's this big bad wolf thing going on right now, and that's where you think the third story is going to go, right? Totally not where it goes at all.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. See, I'm trying to piece together now. So we know who the guy in the mask is, right?
Not yet.
Well,
we
no,
know.
because we watched it before.
Oh, yeah.
You don't, the viewers at home.
Yeah.
You know.
So you think the guy in the mask is
Some random whatever that we're going to find out later, which we do. But I mean, it's just like
Except for he's not random.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
by the way,
Oh.
there's the first couple.
yeah.
that's a kick-ass robot costume,
See,
by the way.
And this is where I have issues because like this flowing from one to the next, and all of a sudden now, oh, we're back in time now.
Well, it
But
does state. It does state after that
Earlier that
scene.
night,
Earlier that night. Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was okay.
there was a cue.
I did not see that.
Yeah, this whole movie takes place after the beginning.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
As funny as that sounds.
Well,
except for the part that happens
before the
beginning.
yeah, everything happens.
There was the
before
part that
the
happened
beginning.
before the beginning too.
Yeah, that happened before the whole movie.
So this movie is a prequel and a sequel all in one.
Can we focus on the fact that somebody's wearing a Peyton Manning jersey? That needs to go.
Well, it's 2007.
Well, it's a great Halloween costume.
Is it? His forehead wasn't big enough.
Okay, so this movie starts out as a prequel, then turns into a sequel, and then it turns into the movie that it is.
Yes.
Right?
I do love the fact
Obviously.
that in this scene, as we're going into the third story, they are walking past a giant pumpkin patch.
I feel like their journey to pick out these pumpkins would make things a lot easier going through the pumpkin
But
patch,
those
right?
ones aren't carved. They need
They need
jack-o'-lanterns.
jack-o'-lanterns, not pumpkins. Yeah.
Oh.
See, now she's like, well, she's autistic. Back then, they didn't even call it that. And
Oh,
she's-
07, they called it
It's
autistic
weird.
in 07.
They were just kind of really learning it.
yeah, because
The different
they
forms.
called her an idiot savant, which is that term was used back then a lot.
Yes.
But that really, in the end, now today is called autism.
She would
So-
have been classified. She would have been classified as on the spectrum.
Yeah, that's the generic term now.
And-
I like the term idiot savant. I'm using it at work now. I've got a coworker that I'm just like,
No.
you're an idiot savant.
I mean, they drop the R word in this too, so I don't want to. I'm not saying that,
I mean, I
but
suppose
they do.
it would,
So
it would be more appropriate that coming from you, other than my thing with somebody's being a moron, and I go, you're pretty. I mean,
I think you've done that to me.
I have a few.
Wow. What are you trying to say?
You're a good-looking man, Corey. You're a good-looking.
Oh,
Obviously.
no, because if I tilt my head and I bat my eyes while I'm saying it, I'm totally insulting you.
So we're on to the second or third story, depending on how you look at the way the
Fourth.
stories are.
There's a little
Fourth
argument
story.
there.
So I consider this the second story because the story reaches its conclusion.
Robots.
But it,
This story reaches its conclusion, so the second conclusion's about to happen. And the first story, the first story,
And there's
is the last story. And there's a third story going on. That's the second story that happened before the second story was beginning.
You remember
But
when
that's
Roger
a-
Rabbit was like talking about his thing and his hands started twisting up around each other?
Is that what's going to happen
right,
here?
now, right now, the second, third, fourth, and fifth story are all happening at the same time.
But the second story is going to end first, which makes it the second story.
Sure.
Yeah, so we're on to the kids and the pumpkins.
Not counting the story that's already ended, but then we see the beginning of it later.
Yes.
Yes, you do go back and see the end, or the middle of
Howling
that story.
distance.
That's a cool pumpkin, by the
See,
way.
but the howling in the distance.
Yeah.
That is not the average bloke's pumpkin. That is like some savant artists.
Oh, I did Pennywise this year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I actually did
We
Pennywise.
Yeah,
should
Tim
see.
Curry.
We gotta see pictures.
You better than Tim Curry.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Nature chose him, but
Could they have found like a creepier way to get down to this
Oh, cool.
story?
That's good. That's good. Impressive.
That is really good.
Yeah.
I did that with the steak knife.
But
People
those are,
listening? Sucks to be you.
Hold it up to the mic so everyone can see.
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
It's Pennywise in the Kubrick stare, basically.
That's fine.
Slowly crawling under my legs. So.
Can we talk about how mean it is to bring the autistic girl to go see a bus full of
Dead autistic children?
dead autistic children? Why do we bring the autistic girl to go see them?
Is that because that freaking lack of better words ringleader, the blonde there, was a fucking bitch?
But
Yeah.
they didn't, for all they know, that's what actually triggers the after effects.
That might have been what triggered it, right? You know, they might have, but they could have been just sitting in the bottom of this quarry for 30 years, unable to escape till some idiot brings this frickin' death cage down there. Like, this
They're in the
elevator they
by
have,
the way.
Yeah, it's like a steel mine shaft elevator that takes you down.
it's a terrible idea.
See, again, when I watched it before, I wasn't really paying close attention. But now that you said she's autistic, I really like this character now because, in my mind, she's playing it very real.
But,
Oh yeah,
see,
In that sense.
I don't know how many people actually pay attention with this character, but after everything she goes through here, she's quite nasty after.
Yeah.
She
gets to extract revenge on the people who tried to make fun of her.
and then she's more like but she actually becomes more like the people that just did this to her.
I feel like it's a totally... I actually feel like it's a very realistic flick in her. Because I've seen that kind of behavior before, where someone's on the spectrum where, like, you've pushed them too far, and then it gets, like, the emotion is shut off, because they're already disconnected from human empathy, and it gets kind of like, no, you've scared me, I am shutting down, I am shutting you out.
Prime example, my oldest. He does it quite often. If he finds something that disturbs him, he will show emotion, but he shuts down like there's no tomorrow.
I don't want to use Victor as a literal emotion, but I could totally see Victor.
Oh, he's very much like that.
Yeah, I could. Like, I don't think he would let people die, but like I could see that shutdown. I can totally see that.
If he distrusted or disliked them enough, he would 100% let them die.
How do you not distrust these people after what she does to them, or after what they do to her? Right?
Yeah, see, these people, he would let die.
I think the bus scene. So they never fully explain. They leave it pretty ambiguous what they paid the bus driver to do. Now,
Did they though?
it was ambiguous. It was never explicitly said what he was supposed to do, and he wasn't the one that drove it into the swamp.
Well, just having it parked there was implicit enough that he was going to put it in gear and just let it go. Now,
Well, he could have let them die there. He
But-
could have maybe just been taking them away.
But anybody who's actually driven a bus would know too that it's very hard to put it into gear and get out of there in time.
It would be rather difficult, especially like an old 70s one. Like they got automatics now, right? But
Oh, yeah,
But to hit that clutch and put it into gear and get out of there before it went over based on where he parked, that wasn't happening.
yeah. I guess it makes sense. It kind of bugged me the first time watching it. I bet it bugged you, Mike, that he was the only one that survived. Did you notice that? He's like,
Well,
yeah.
see,
Why'd the bus driver survive?
For me, that didn't make any sense because, no, actually it does because the kids, except for the one, was chained in.
Well, I noticed that fact afterwards, right?
As an adult, I would think that he had the more wherewithal to get a way out. It was just whether it was well portrayed or not. You know.
The
I mean,
lack of damage to him,
yeah.
that disturbed me.
Physically, anyway.
Go ahead.
I would have thought he would have came out with a worse wear, to be honest.
Yes.
But it, like, knowing that he's not shackled does make a little bit of sense. And like Corey likes to say, sometimes a movie's got a movie.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, yeah, because he wasn't buckled in. it went nose deep into a freaking quarry.
He was in the hallway of it, or the whatever you call the corridor in the middle.
The aisle.
The aisle. He would have went nose first into the water. Yeah. Unless he was able to grab on, right?
I remember as a kid walking down the bus corridor. That was
the bus corridor.
Yeah.
Shall forever be known that thing.
I guess just sometimes you can't think of the words.
I actually know that all too well. So,
so clearly, only the one girl does not show any remorse to this.
No, it's that freaking blonde.
Yeah.
Holy man.
She's a bitch.
Do we ever find out why?
No, and that's the thing. That's the parent in all of us saying, what was wrong with her upbringing? As a younger person watching this, you're like, oh, she's just a bitch. We're like, what's wrong with her parents?
You know, I envision these children between the ages of like grade 5 and grade 8, which totally
grade 8. Closer to grade 8.
Well, I could envision between 14 and 11. That's what I envision these kids, right? Kids are fucking savages at that age. Guess savages, okay? Like kids are so freaking mean at that age.
Yes.
I could totally see them pulling pranks like this.
Yeah.
Back to Sam. And the school bus, eh?
Yeah.
Like, pretty heartless when she locks him out there, right, guys?
Yeah, and then, she goes away and they assumably cease to exist, and she gets away with no remorse whatsoever.
And then we are on to like the 6th story, not the second one.
This is the second. You were saying this was the second story, but this is actually the 3rd story.
The second story was when they were getting dressed. Now it's the 6th story, and it's completely different.
But they got dressed for this.
The first introduction to any story was the robot in the leather pleather.
Okay, so we can count that as a first story.
That is the introduction because we see it, right?
Yeah.
So what's the next thing we see?
Principal.
The principal. Mm-hmm. And then it's by the women getting dressed.
Yeah.
I feel like the women getting dressed is part of this story.
No, because now they get undressed.
I feel like it's just a continuation of this story.
Well, this is the combining of the 2 stories.
But it's the same story.
No, it's not. They're different stories.
Well, because now you've got the masked person, who we're not going to spoil the identity of,
that we were talking
talking about before earlier in the parade, intertwining into the girls' stories who were getting changed earlier. And changed for this particular reason.
So this is the 4th story because it combines 2 different stories.
Yeah, I guess. And then the fact that you have Anna Paquin dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. There's so much... Again, you watch the movie second time knowing what you know now, and you're like, oh my god, every single thing led to this.
Yeah. Wait a second. Because of... I'm not going to spoil that, but I'm like, this is the first story. Still.
Well, it can all be classified as the first story just because of how it all combines together.
So if you add a previous story into a new story, does that make it 3 stories?
Yes.
That's I think that's the logic we're going with today.
Yes.
My brain hurts.
Because realistically, even though in the second story, when the attack's happening there, they grab onto the couple from the opening scene, which is actually the end of the night.
Right. But so here's the question on this: if this story didn't combine with the 3rd story, would the 3rd story still continue just without that guy or person?
Possibly.
Possibly. So there's the question whether it becomes a 3rd story on top of the 1 and the 2. So and it's just a hypothetical, because I think they would have continued on doing what we're watching with all this dancing and
this would still be the 3rd story. You're saying
so.
Yeah.
Okay, which also applies to this situation. So at what point are they taking off Can I spoil this?
You can talk about this scene.
Because they're taking off those clothes, but when are they actually taking off their clothes? Because when are they actually naked? Because they're not really naked now.
Well, I guess that's right. They're going to be naked eventually here, though.
Well, yeah.
So, better yet, when she goes back,
She looks so badass in her makeup, too. Oh, her?
Yeah. Would she still have the tattoo?
I don't know. Unless they, like, stole skin or something. I don't know.
I don't really know how... we can spoil what's going on here,
Yes.
I think. I feel like the identity of the Masked Man we shouldn't spoil, and there's certain things that tie together that we shouldn't spoil, but
this part is too hard not to...
I love Anna Paquin in this makeup. She is incredibly hot.
those eyes are like
Yeah.
crazy, right?
I love the visuals in this one, in this scene, and this is one of the things I really did like about it. It didn't look cheap to me.
This reminded me of Lost Boys, to be honest.
The campfire scene? Or the bonfire scene?
Yeah, this is a... We find out there's a coven of werewolves.
Who played Sam?
Quinn Lord.
Who's he now?
Nobody, but he's
I bet you all the
he's
one
actually a kid who was playing him in this movie.
Oh yeah.
So
But see, and then it goes back to earlier.
Did it say it with words?
Yes.
Yes, it said it with words.
Okay.
words are hard.
Like, it didn't actually say it, because you
It
had to
had-
read it with words.
It
but-
had the comic book block.
Okay, no, that's okay. So again, it boils back to you need to pay attention when you're watching this,
So now this sets up the last story.
which is also the
First story?
First story, yeah.
Yeah.
No, second story. Second.
No, the
No,
first
no.
Because
story.
the first is the robot.
Okay, this part is...
Yeah,
This finishes off the second story. And then after this...
But does this really set up? This just happens at the same time as the first or second story, depending on your perspective of it?
No, because this one sets up the second story, then after this it finishes off the third story, and then after that it finishes off
You know, nobody's gonna watch this movie. People are like, this is way too much goddamn work.
If you guys could just envision, like, the math equations floating on in the head as we're trying.
I am Charlie Day right now, and I've got yarn and I got a Sharpie.
I've actually really enjoyed us discussing about how which story is which. For me,
This was totally a Grinch move.
Yeah, right?
like, why would you go there? There's no lights on. The iron rod gate is closed.
Yeah.
Just leave this guy alone.
No, we taught our kids not to go to houses when the lights were out for trick-or-treating, so...
Okay, but again, that's us. We taught our kids, and I have seen several kids go to doors without lights on. But when most of us were trick-or-treating, the lights off, I'm going to go ring the doorbell. If they don't give me candy, I'm egging them.
This guy's house would have been TP'd back in the day.
That's what the eggs and the TP are.
Can I just go back to the fifth story? Fifth? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys feel like that could have been just like a total movie on its... Well, almost all these stories could have been movies on their
the
own.
one with the girls?
Yeah, the one with the girls. I feel like that was like primed to just be like its own thing, though.
I feel like it has been done.
Well,
Probably
you know what?
porn, but
Oh, wait, what was that movie with, she played Wednesday.
It did give off very...
Christina Ricci.
Which one?
Where she's a werewolf. She turns into a werewolf.
Cursed?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
it's
scene
got
has been done.
some cursed... Yeah, now that you pointed out, it does have a little bit of that.
That was Wes Craven, too.
Yep.
Was that really?
Yep.
That must have been one of his later ones.
Yeah.
Because that was after Scream, wasn't that?
No, I think it was like the year before Scream.
See, and why take the candy and eat it if you're just gonna spit it out? Like,
you gotta wash it down with
Well,
whiskey
no, but I
and
think-
beer, and it's just like,
No, you don't get it. At the beginning, when the principal is poisoning the candy, he probably took a poison candy. He's like, oh, this tastes like shit, and so he washes it down with alcohol.
Oh, probably.
You don't think the principal was keeping that candy just for that kid that
No,
took all the candy bars?
you don't just kill one.
Yeah, no. It's like putting razor blades in them. Come on.
Maybe you do just kill one. Like, that's how you keep it, like, low key. You don't want to murder a whole bunch of kids on Halloween.
Some,
I mean, they made a whole franchise about that.
Well, why are they killing kids? Why is he killing kids?
Because he's the principal. He
Principal.
fucking
Well,
hates
yeah,
them.
well, no.
It's like
The hypothetical is just like whatever his motivation in his brain. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go off the principle and the
because it's like his wet dream.
yeah. So,
I think he's just a psychopath.
well, yeah.
Pushed to the edge by the kids, no doubt.
But I mean, we talked about it before with Dexter. You know, Dexter does it because of urges, a different kind of urges.
But he knows
this
how to
guy's doing
control
it.
them, yeah.
He's gotta control it. You've gotta, you know.
And I mean,
You know, he is very Dexter-ish, right? Very Dexter-ish.
except for Dexter only killed bad guys with his urges.
And not on the front step in the middle of the street with
Yeah,
Yes,
Dexter's a little
that's accurate.
smarter about it, right? But this guy, like, he only killed kids that took too much candy, and he's probably a little shithead at school.
Well,
you guys see what the
you
other
see him
kids-
earlier, he was dumping pumpkins and shattering people's jack-o'-lanterns and stealing candy. So he was a bad kid.
And then there's a bus driver who's gonna go beat them all. Like
Oh, and here's the
dog
finger.
with finger.
I remember that was the tagline of Dexter. Dexter is a serial killer that only kills serial killers.
As Batman once said, if you kill a killer, then the amount of killers in the world stay the same.
That's
it
why you
doesn't.
kill
No, I know.
multiple killers.
If you kill 3, then you're down 2. Yeah, I know.
You know,
Batman had a lot of flawed logic, really. That's why I like the Joker. He had it right.
so you're saying the Joker's logic is less flawed than Batman?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the Joker sees things clearer. I think.
I disagree with that
Well,
logic on
Well,
a
see,
couple
because he
different...
knew he was insane, therefore he wasn't sane.
All it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy.
I
Or
don't...
what if he was actually the sane one and everybody around him were insane?
Read,
They've done those comics.
read the comic Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. That's it there.
That is such a great book. The bad guys take over Arkham, and instead of like asking for demands, they said, "We've got all the nurses hostage. We want Batman locked in these walls with us and seeing if he can come out sane."
I love the story arcs they've done with that, with Batman's sanity. I mean, we all know Joker's got issues, but Batman's insanity is it's so much fun to play with, and I've seen it so many times in so many different mags.
Yeah, that's a lot
So-
of Jack Ryan.
I thought the jack-o'-lanterns in this scene, I thought this was the kids that went down to the bus at first. I thought, who did this? I didn't realize it was Sam at first, right?
Well, it could have been Sam. Could have been the other kids that visit him at the door after.
Could have been Rhonda.
Could have been Rhonda, because she probably figured out who he was.
How would Rhonda have figured it out?
I don't know. She's pretty smart.
Well, yeah, I guess. But this happens before that happens. This is before...
He's right.
Yeah, they're still gathering pumpkins at this point. They haven't gone
Yeah,
to the quarry
okay.
yet, right?
Yeah, because the principal still.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They visit the principal while he's murdering the little boy. And this is happening at the same time the little boy's getting buried in the
Yeah,
backyard.
exactly.
right?
Yeah, so
Dude lives in a creepy house.
he's a recluse.
Like,
This reminds me of Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
Watch
I
that.
kind of like that. That was good. I love the actor. What's his name? I can't
It was
remember his name.
okay.
now. But he was the Marine from Avatar.
Which one? Like,
Sam
He was
Worthington?
blind.
oh, was it Sam Worthington?
No, the bad Marine.
Stephen something.
Oh.
He should have been. He should have been.
Lang.
Deathstroke.
Stephen Lang.
Lang,
Yeah.
He's in there.
oh, he'd be an amazing Deathstroke.
Oh, he would have. Yeah. But yeah, he was in Don't Breathe. Both of them. That
I
was
don't
good.
think I've ever seen Don't Breathe.
I watched No One Will Let You, or No One Will Find You, or what is it? The Alien one that came out on...
Nope.
No.
Oh, I seen it on your page
Yeah.
there.
Anyway, that was a pretty badass movie.
Oh, no one will believe you? Something like that? No one...
Anyway,
I-
it's the one that just came out on streaming, and it's a alien invasion movie. It's really well done. So
You know, I haven't...
Science?
I said it was really well done.
Swing away. That was kind of... Can we all agree with Signs was just kind of like where we kind of... Maybe M. Night Shyamalan's not the genius we thought he was.
Yeah, because that was his second movie after Sixth Sense, and everyone's like, he's a god. Then that movie, you're like, oh. And then Village came out, and you're like, oh.
Again, it's the fans that ruin everything.
I mean, Old was pretty cool. I kind of liked Old. So,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Old.
Old was pretty cool. It was weird, but it was pretty cool.
I like both The Village and Signs, but
Nobody
like...
likes The Village and Signs.
They say
I did.
they say everyone has that M. Night Shyamalan movie that you shouldn't like, but do.
The Happening?
The Happening wasn't
The
very good.
Happening was better than The Village.
I would
Was it though?
disagree.
They were both awful, so...
Well, yeah, they were, but if you have to rank them, The Happening was better.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So how do we think
Watching The Omen.
That's a little nod to Pet Cemetery right there.
Yep.
is all the writing on the walls? Of the
No,
ceiling?
No,
getting
the-
sliced in the Achilles.
Oh,
With the, razor blade and the chocolate.
I haven't seen
Except there was a scalpel in Pet Cemetery.
Right.
Poor,
Sam's got blood on his hands now.
Fred Gwynn.
I don't understand how like taking off the creepy mask made Sam creepier.
Yeah, right?
Like he's pretty creepy right now.
See, I wouldn't have done that either. I would have leave the mask on.
Well, he puts it on again after.
No, but it's just like I heard a story the other day about the original Judge Dredd was supposed to be written in the sense that the helmet stayed on and this and that. It was
Yep.
much darker, and Stallone didn't like that because who's going to know? How are they going to know it's him? And he
Yeah.
rewrote it.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. And then the second one with Carl Urban.
I never even watched that one.
Yeah, it's Carl.
That's still
Urban.
Carl,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that was phenomenal. That's what
It was far
They-
superior to the story.
I feel like that they took the original script before Stallone got to it and redid it. And that's what it was. You never see his helmet
It was
on.
Dark Horse, wasn't it? Comics?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't it?
No, I think it's his own thing. Like it's the 2000 AD, and I don't think Dark Horse makes it. I think they're their own
Okay.
printing company because they've got two prints. They've got 2000 AD, and they've actually got Judge Dredd Comics. I think they're their own publisher. They've been going like forever. Like there's not a lot of independent published companies out there that have 1,000 published comics, and they are like well over 1,000.
That's cool. I just remember Dark Horse did some like messed up shit back in the day. Like The Mask was not a kid's movie.
Oh, I love the Mask comic book.
Oh, it was so
good.
dark. And then even Alien vs. Predator, before it was even thought about as a movie, it was a comic book.
IDW Publishing.
Yeah,
I know
IDW.
IDW.
That's
Yeah,
who
okay.
it was.
I highly recommend the IDW TMNT run right now. Really good if you're like a Ninja Turtle fan.
Are they? Is that Back to the Morning Red again? All of them? Is that one?
No, they haven't gone back to red. No. They're like, they kind of take a little bit of all the iterations of the Turtles and throw them into a blender. It's excellent.
With the new Turtle movie?
No. The IDW Turtles comic book.
Oh.
Very good.
Alright.
So you
So
say...
yeah, he didn't take the mask off. He got it ripped off.
Oh man, he's like, this is probably the only bad special effects in this movie is the shot of Sam's face.
It's not. It's practical. It's makeup.
Not the one of Guess His Face. That is definitely a CGI effect, and they move way too quick. Not that shot, but like the first shot when they take the mask off.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah.
I did love that part where the pumpkin seeds
Yeah.
were flying out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he's a little pumpkin head?
Yeah.
You say the sequel, there's supposed to be a nemesis
To Sam. Yeah. I'm
It-
pretty excited. So.
I don't know how. I think that'd be cool. I was really hoping. like after watching this, no wonder was it your list Sam made it on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like
See,
I totally get it. Like it's not like the world-beating villain of all time, but like it's a very cool villain.
Yeah. And I mean, there's an argument that he's.
Really
Yeah, I was gonna say there's an argument that he's not a villain.
Sam.
Yeah.
I prefer the ambiguity. Is that said spoken properly?
Yeah.
Ambiguity. There we go. That's better. The ambiguity of it, and I think unmasking him
Ruined a
diminished
little
it,
bit.
and I think having Sam physically interact takes away from the potential lore of what he could have been. You know, it's almost like he brings the evil with him, but he is not the evil. I mean, and that's just an interesting take that I think would be different. Because this is the only one he actually physically gets involved with.
What about that time he shoved a lollipop and killed a person with the lollipop?
Since the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I feel like he's definitely a bad guy when he murders that girl for blowing out pumpkins.
You know, she should have known better.
He should have known better.
See, I can honestly say that's what I'm doing for me. I do take down the expensive decorations, but I leave my pumpkins lit.
I think murdering a person for taking down Halloween decorations too early.
with Charlie Brown.
But again, spirit of Halloween.
I think that makes them a bad
And again,
guy.
the only reason that I don't take mine down is, or that I take mine down is because they're more likely to be stolen.
Oh! In the play I'm doing, I got a character and I need a rabbit's foot. Does anybody know where I can get one?
Awkward moment right now.
It just dawned on me, that's right.
That's like really bad timing.
Is it too late?
No, but I don't think my child will sleep afterwards.
I don't think his
Yeah.
child will.
My child wants to bury him.
Well, just get an axe and like
This is how you
discreetly.
do this.
Well, make
Get
sure
a
that
toddler
the
sock.
corners are good.
Just get a toddler
Yeah.
sock. Same coloring.
Oh, this is where he gets the lollipop.
Yep. There's a connection that.
That lollipop looks much
And look,
smaller
there's
now.
bite.
There's a bite.
Because remember when you saw the lollipop, it looked like that.
Yeah.
How does it fit in his mouth so good here and like totally engulfs her mouth?
Because he's got a freaking jack-o'-lantern mouth.
His mouth is like this big.
Okay. I guess you're right. And you can see it under the mask now.
Oh, never mind.
I honestly forget why he saves him.
Because he stabs it.
Yeah, he stabs the candy bar, yeah.
I kind of want to see the backstory of the robot chick now. Because I feel like she did something.
She blew out the pumpkin.
No, she had to have done something else.
You're gonna see it like right away.
Yeah, I know what she does, but like, this guy
She says that it's stupid to leave up the Halloween decorations and it looks like a crime scene and her mother's coming the next day.
And yeah, like the scene when Sam leaves the house here, he looks across the street and sees her, and that immediately connects it to the beginning.
Yep.
This guy's a piece of shit.
Yes.
Who deserved to die.
Yes.
But
But he converted him.
he does. She doesn't hand out candy, but she gets rid of the decorations.
Yeah.
So because he forcibly stole a chocolate bar, he gets to let this guy live?
Yes. And he didn't... Okay, he forcibly steals it, yes, but in his mind it was just given to him too. Because you gotta remember, the spirit of Halloween is a child. They don't know the right or wrong from that.
I was trying to make an argument for with you guys saying that he's not the bad guy. And then you guys shot down my argument to help say that he's not the bad guy really quickly. So,
Yeah, there's that picture actually. I was talking about.
Yeah.
Except for again, it was in color, the one that I saw. So.
Well, it's in color now.
Yeah. At least orange anyway. Look later.
Later.
Well, I don't think that needed a later.
But see, they're at the same house, though.
Three Little Pigs, eh?
See, there's so much referencing to those girls.
To these girls?
No.
The other girls.
Yeah. See, he converts. He likes Halloween now. Because he knows it'd be bad if he doesn't.
Well, hopefully the robot's husband hands out a lot of Halloween candy to make up for...
No, he's watching the nature documentary.
I mean, I know I learned something.
National Geographic.
You and me, baby.
Well, guys...
This part's sad.
This part is sad.
I don't know if I remember this part.
Yeah, because
Well, that's
that's
yeah.
the kid, and he's obviously not going to be
He's
coming
dressed.
home.
He's dressed up like his
Okay.
dad.
Yeah,
So
and
here,
he's not
this
coming
is
home.
where it connects to...
Yeah, this is the opening scene of the movie now.
Yeah.
So you see her, you see the girls are in the vehicle, and then Robot Chick's about to walk by. There's their house right there. And there's Sam.
Man, so that house is way more Halloweeny than like any other house on the block. Like, look at all the ghosts she has up.
I think you diminish it when you say weenie.
Halloweeny?
You said weenie.
But, okay, so
there's that.
right here. It makes me wish Halloween was over.
Yeah. So I guess we're at that time again. I expected to say final thoughts. So
Start at the end, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Final thoughts. Well, I mentioned it just before. It has these... the movie, I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I'm not a horror fan, just so you all know. Again, but there was some good stuff in it. The quality was well done. I nitpicked it. Was my only issue. And it had some, Creepshow vibes. I liked the comic book overlay. It was a fun film. You want my rating?
Obviously.
sure. Is it on 12?
Am I restricted to the 10 scale?
No, you
No,
You
can
do whatever
you want.
Every movie can be different.
I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
Ooh.
Better.
I was expecting a little bit higher rating.
Well, I initially wanted to say 6 out of 10, but I'm going to say, you know what? When will we ever get a 10 out of 10? And how many times did we ever watch a 1 out of 10 for more than 20 minutes and just leave? So, you know what?
That was being totally killer. But I still got a bit of a higher rating from me.
Okay. I'll never watch this again unless you guys want to do another review. in
I
10
will watch
years.
this every year.
Yeah, I mean, again, it also falls because I'm just not a horror guy.
Yeah, it helps. So.
Laura, your rating?
And for me, Sam, obviously, he was one of my honorable mentions. He's not on my top 5, but he was one of my honorable mentions.
I get it now.
But, like Ray said, he watches this movie every year. I can honestly say I've watched Trick or Treat 4 times now. Just this year.
This year.
This year.
Nice.
I've watched it 4 times. For me, this is a 5 out of 5. I love it. It's a cult classic.
Corey, how about... do you want to give a rating?
I did. I said
just
it's 5 out of
5 out of
5.
5. You said 5 out of 5. Wow, I'm... Just
He's oblivious.
I heard you say it and then... Sometimes things just... Yeah.
Numbers
Just
are
went
hard.
right over his head.
Yeah.
Do
You're right over my head.
Do I have to go back to the pretty remark?
Sorry.
Your turn, Corey.
Yeah, no, this... I discovered this movie at Blockbuster, and... filmed in Vancouver. Anyway, and it just immediately stuck to me. Like, I love Halloween, the holiday, and... Well, it's not a holiday, but... And, yeah. I love everything it stands for. I love horror. I love occult. I love anything like that. I love supernatural. Like, not the show, but the actual concept. So, This movie was everything I wanted it to be, and being a comic book nerd growing up, having that comic book vibe to it. I'm with Laura. This is a 5 out of 5.
Take their value more than mine. If you're a horror fan, listen to Corey and Laura.
This was my first time watching this. I actually think it's going to be on my Halloween rotation now. Not a big horror guy either, but like I really love that kind of storytelling, like the intertwined stories. So it actually gets a higher rating than probably good. It gets a solid Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom for me.
I still don't understand those ratings.
Well, yeah. See, Temple of Doom, which is, I believe you liked it more than the common person.
Holy shit, Mike is figuring it out.
So we that also puts. We also recognize Jeff's taste is at a particular level in which you can now gauge with our own levels.
I'm gonna take
That's not
shots
gay.
at my taste now.
No. If I know that you love that movie, and I don't, so I know where I go.
Oh, okay, so that's how...
You have chilled brains in your fridge.
Yes, but they're going to be shared, so...
Well, as
not
chilled
just for
monkey
me.
brain should be.
Yeah, I was going to say, tomorrow I did that.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, better give your plug, buddy.
Oh, yeah, if you're listening to this, then Halloween is tomorrow. So Dracula rides again at the Bailey Theatre. We got one more run, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We got very good reviews from people I talked to, and they just didn't say nice things because they're my friends. Because I don't have any. So,
We're your friends, Mike.
well, you haven't seen it yet, so...
I would like to put this one out there, just because, we've talked about it. Anybody out there listening, if they want a review on it, I would happily do a review on.
I think that might be happening.
Corey, I guess we're going to the theater.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I'd love to see that. Hear that.
Is Mike allowed to be part of the review?
It's not a real
Mike finally gave his first 10 out of 10.
time.
Well, I can't review it because I'm in it. As a theater guy, when you're on stage, you can't judge the perspective of off stage. That's why, in this case, a director is so important. You don't really know what you do without the eyes of somebody else. So I long for constructive criticism, and I don't mind it if you don't like my shows.
It's going to be awkward when we
Because it's a subjective taste. Because it's a subjective taste.
No, if you don't like something, that is fine. Just explain why.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
just say, it was stupid. Why? Because it was. Shut up. You have no opinion. Your opinion is worthless.
Absolutely. If you have reasons why you don't like it, subjective or otherwise, that's fine.
It's like us doing all of these. There's reasons behind why we like them, why we won't watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is based on, quite honestly, how often you were forced to watch them. And there's a lot of those ones. Just like, you guys ever review a Western? I'm conveniently sick.
We're reviewing a Western when we do his play.
Oh, shit.
Technically.
Okay, if my words are slurred, like...
Oh my god, we gotta have a Western month, guys. It's
I'm
official now, we're doing a Western
I'm
month.
sick all month.
I really want to do like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing.
Oh,
Put on like Twilight and then just bash the shit out of it from opening to end.
I can't say as I've ever actually watched the Twilight movies, but they look horrendous.
I'll give you the books first.
I don't need the books.
Have you ever talked about doing stuff like Logan's Run?
Ooh.
That's a great cult.
Logan's Run was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I still have that
think
on
I've
hard
seen that.
copy here. You know?
It was a hard watch for me when I watched it, but like I was a lot younger. I think I'd appreciate it more now.
See?
But I back in those days, 70s stuff was just kind of like unwatchable
See,
back
for me,
then.
any John Wayne, forget it, not happening. Clint Eastwood. I still haven't watched Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo's
That's
good.
Gran
phenomenal.
Torino.
I love that one.
I
Get
haven't
off my
watched
lawn.
it because of the fact that he's in it.
You just have to talk to your teeth.
Because of the fact that he's in it, I can't watch it.
Oh my god! So I'm not convincing anybody to watch Do Good, the Bad, the Ugly, eh?
No, that's good. I love spaghetti westerns.
The spaghetti westerns
I was
are
a kid
amazing.
growing up on that shit.
So Mark watches them, and I conveniently make noise everywhere else.
I honestly think
Have you-
a few dollars more and a fistful of dollars is better than Good, the Bad, the Ugly, but like,
Next thing you
Good
know,
movies.
he's gonna want to watch My Name is Trinity, and Trinity is still my name.
They're
they call
not
me
bad
Trinity.
films.
yeah, like,
So there's common ground. There's going to be a time where we're going to have to butt heads eventually, but there's definitely common ground.
yeah.
I'm sick that month. That whole month.
Well, Corey, take us off. Where do we find everybody?
All right, if you're listening to this, you got Spotify, obviously. Check out the written reviews on Instagram or Facebook. I am more than likely putting out a written review for Five Nights at Freddy's. I haven't decided if we're going to do a full or not because it's a pretty basic story, but it was a fun movie. I watched it today. So either way, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, that's where we are right now.
Okay. Keep your stick on the ice. Is that it?